This video is going to cover long division using a horizontal method. If you've learned the traditional vertical method in the past and you like using that one, feel free to do so in the future. However, students that understand math well usually understand more than one method. So I'd like you to at least try this method out, see what you think, and then choose the method that works best for you. On the front of your note sheet, this problem has already been done, 261 divided by 3. This work will hopefully make more sense when we're done with the examples and the problems for you to try on the inside of your notes. So please flip to the inside of your notes. The top left will say long division using the horizontal method, and we're going to look at example 1 first. So example 1 says 572 divided by 2. I'm going to color code things, so if you want to do that, I do recommend it. We've got 572 is red and divided by 2. The divided by number goes on the outside of these upside down boxes, so that's where my 2 is going to go. And then the number the larger number that's being divided by 2, in this case, is 500. So 5 is going to go here, that's the hundreds place. 7 is going to go here, it's the tens place. And the 2 is going to go here. So essentially, the place values are being put into these upside down boxes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to think of, looking at the 5 here, a number that can be multiplied by the 2, and that is exactly 5 or is at least close to 5 but not too big. So you want to go as far close to 5 as you can. And if you look at a multiplication chart, that can really make it more clear. So if we look at 2's, we want to get as close to 5 without being too big. So the closest we can get is 4. So the number is 2 times 2. So we put 2 up here because 2 times 2 is 4. We subtract to see how much is left over. And then that value comes up here. So please make sure you draw your arrow in to show what we've done. So now, once again, we're doing 2 times what is 17, or as close to 17 as we can get. So if we look at our multiples of 2, we want to get as close to 17 without being too big. So 18 is too big, so 16. So that means our number is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So the 8 goes here. And then we put the 16, we subtract, and once again we get a 1, and that remainder essentially comes up here. So now 2 times what is 12? Well, if we look at our chart, 2 times 6 is 12. We subtract, and if there's nothing left over, we are done, and it means our answer is a whole number. Therefore, so if you use your highlighter, this is the answer, 286. Okay, let's try the next one, example 2. Where is this 4 going to go? Well, that goes on the outside, and then the number being divided, 316 divided by 4, that number goes on the inside here. 3 is the hundreds place, 1 is the tens place, 6 is the ones place. And then our first step is, what times 4 will get us close to 3 but not be too big? Well, if you put a 1 here, 1 times 4 is 4, and that's too big. So therefore, 0. 0 times 4 is 0, and then if we subtract, we get a 3, and we bring the 3 up here. Now we're thinking about what times 4 is as close to 31 as possible without going over. So if we look at our list of multiples and our 4's, 4 times 8 is 32. That's too big. Therefore, we have to put 7 because 28 is as close as we can get without going over. So 7. 7 times 4 is 28. And then if we borrow and we subtract, 11 minus 8 is 3. So we have another 3. The 3 is going up here. Now, just so you know, in this one we had 2 1s, and in here we're having 2 3s. That does not always happen. That's just a coincidence, okay? This could have been any other number. But when we subtracted, we got 3. So now we're doing 4 times what is 36. And if we use our chart, that's 9. 9 times 4 is 36, and therefore we'll get 0 here. And our answer will be 79. Okay, on example 3, why are there 1, 2, 3, 4 of these upside down boxes instead of 3? Well, if we look at our problem, we have 4 digits here when we are dividing by 5. So the 5 goes here, And then there are 4 boxes because we have thousands. So 7,000, 0 hundreds, 1 10, and 5 ones go there. And so then what should we do next? Well, we're thinking about what times 5 gets us as close to 7 without going over. Well, 1 times 5 is 5. And then we subtract, and we'll get 2. And we're going to bring the 2 up here. And then we go, what times 5 is 20 or is close to 20? Well, if we do 4, 4 times 5 is exactly 20. And we'll get 0, bring the 0 up here. And so now we have 1. 5 times what is 1? Well, the closest we could get is with 0, because if you do times 1, it's too big. So we get 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract, you get a 1. And then we put the 1 up here. And then last but not least, what number times 5 is 15? Well, that's 3. And we will get 0 left over, and we are done. So therefore, here's our answer, 1,403. Okay, up here on the you tries, number 1 for our practice, I would like you to set it up, please, and try the problem. So what was your first step? We're using this horizontal model with these upside down boxes, so we need 3 of these because we have 3 numbers for 718. So the 2 goes here, and the 7 goes here, and the 1 goes here, and the 8 goes here. What did you do next? Well, you should have figured out a number that multiplies by 2 that gets you close to 7. So 3 times 2 is 6. That's the closest you can get. You'll have 1 left over, and the 1 will come up here. So now 2 times what is 11? Well, the closest we can get is 5. 2 times 5 is 10, with 1 left over. And we bring this up. 2 times what is 18? It's 9. Subtract, and nothing left over. And so on this one, our answer is 359, because 359 times 2 is 718. Please try number 2. So once again, we're going to need 3 upside down boxes. The 6 goes on the outside. 300, whoops, trying to write sideways here. 24. And on this one, 6 can't go into 3, so we have to do times 0, and that'll be 0. Where does that 3 go? Well, the 3 gets brought up next to the 2, so it's a 32. 6 times what is 32, or close to 32? The closest you can get is 5, because 5 times 6 is 30. And then we subtract, you get the 2. Where does the 2 go? Up next to the 4. And then 6 times what is 24? Well, that is 4. And therefore, if we keep going, because if you don't keep going and it's not perfect, you will get a decimal answer, which is what we're going to need sometimes. All of the ones we're doing today are whole number answers, but we will need to know how to get decimal answers too later on. So the answer is 54. Okay, last one for you to try. Please do so. This one is going to need 4 boxes because we have thousands place. So the 5 goes out here. 1,385. 5 can't go into 1, so we're going to get 0 there. This will be 0. Subtract, you get the 1. Bring the one up.